much I wanted to say, but now it's too late. Find a way, find a way, spend the night with you in a Paradise. Some of it, you left me there. Took the 9:35 from Paradise.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another live stream Tuesday. I hope you guys had a good start to your week and that you had a good weekend as well. So, we're kicking off with Paris Nord, which just going to turn down the echo that I'm hearing, which was requested quite a lot over on Patreon. So thank you guys for requesting that particular song to start with tonight. And I noticed, and I've had this before, where people have said, I love your cover of that song, or I love this cover, or something like that. But that's my song. I wrote it. It is from my own head, and maybe people think that it sounds good enough to be an actual song that might be on the radio or something. But thank you for the positive comments about it, but it is indeed my song. So, anyway, thank you guys for joining me tonight. I can see you in the live chat room, and let me have a little look in there to see who is in the house tonight. And we have Heather, Jonathan, Rose, Billy, Daisy, Jennifer, Bob, Elaine, Rome, Melchestra, Christian, Tammy, Laugh Out Loud, Can, Alison, Diamond Girl, Ruth, Joe, Jennifer, Daisy, WNP, 67, Momo. Hello, good to see you all. Too many names for me to get through, but we're gonna do what we normally do on this Tuesday night, which includes, of course, trying to see if we can have a Phil Jam at the end of the live stream, because the last live stream we missed out on the Phil Jam. We didn't quite make it. Maybe only within about 20 likes of making it, but we didn't quite get there. So tonight, we are aiming for, and it is still Phil Jam number 266 that we're going to be doing, and we're aiming for 405 likes. So if you could hit that thumbs up as you come through the door, that would be very much appreciated. Let me get the names of my patrons up on screen as well, because they make this all possible in the first place. Everything that I've done on the channel in the past, including the cover videos and, of course, the analysis videos and all that kind of stuff. So, with tonight's live stream, I will be covering a few topics. I might actually talk about the post that I did last night on Patreon about this idea that I've had of putting together different vocal coaches in a video and posting it for this channel, but also Authentic Vocal. So, that's something that I can chat about in a second, because let's get through all of the admin of getting everything on screen. So what we need now is the likeometer, which is at 201. So it's a good start. Thank you guys. I think the thumbs up, maybe we can get a spike of the lights going on. It means we're looking for 204 more people, 203 more people to hit that thumbs up before the end of the live stream. And I think I do have a couple of things for Troll Corner as well, if we have time throughout this live stream to jump into there, because I won't focus on any of the Sir Paul McCartney stuff, because some people that I don't know why they still think that literally the Venus system of the person being exactly the same, that's that's not conclusive proof. So, as I said in my video, that unfortunately you can't account for people that aren't playing with the full deck. So, anyway, yeah, we won't spend any time on those kinds of comments. But let me get up on screen as well the donations tab, because you don't have to donate. Just watching is great. So, yeah, for those people that can't resist donating, I think it's important that you know between 45 and 60% goes to YouTube through the Super Chat window, and between 3 and 5% goes to PayPal through the PayPal link, which you can find in the description below. Yeah, but you don't have to donate at all. Right. Now, the other thing, before I've always got things in my head that I want to talk about, but then more often than not I forget about them. So what I have done with the Dashery store, and we will be doing a picture corner later because we do have some Dashery items that have been ordered and have been delivered and have been modelled and have had a picture taken of the modelling. So we'll have a look at that a little bit later on, but there should be, if you do have a tray underneath this video, the merchandise tray, there should be more than just 2 items now. So we have the t-shirt there, the hoodie, I think, but also the Livestream Tuesday mug. So it's actually relevant to what I'm doing at the moment, Livestream Tuesday. And we've got, I think, the Phil Toon mug is there. And there might just be the normal Wings of Pegasus mug, which just has the logo on both sides. So yeah, for those people interested in that kind of stuff, then you can click on the tray underneath this video, and I think that will take you through to the store, or at least if the item that you want is there, you can click on it and it'll take you through to where you need to go. So, right. Rose says, finally got a dad. Hey, ordered. And of course, there's been a slide onto the Y rather than the T, because it's a dad hat that you can get. So thank you for that, Ro. And we will jump. I was going to say we weren't going to jump through what we were going to do next in the live stream. There was something I was going to talk about. It was not the Paul McCartney. Oh, it is the idea for... This is the thing. That once I start talking about one thing, I then forget about what I was talking about. But yeah, last night on Patreon, I posted about this idea for getting vocal coaches together and for them to just sing. I know that this sounds crazy in the modern world, but to get vocal coaches just singing. And what I mean by that is, like I'm doing here, just singing. I'm not singing at the moment, but in terms of what is being recorded, you produce the sound, it goes into the microphone, and that's what you hear. So I thought about this actually just over the weekend, because I've been seeing vocal coaches that have been talking about AI, and I think when I saw a video by Chris Lipe, who's a friend of the channel, you can tell that there's frustration there, especially for vocal coaches, where they're being asked now to listen to AI vocals. And of course, as you know, a vocal coach, that's not what they do. That they're not listening to something that isn't a human voice, that's, you know, an algorithm with set parameters giving you something from prompts. And I mean, yeah, I could talk about this for the whole live stream, considering what's been going on recently. Look out for tomorrow night's video, by the way, because yeah, it's a video you're going to have to see, because it is going down a rabbit hole, but it's a rabbit hole that I think has been created by the person's own actions. So yeah, look out for that tomorrow night. That's going to be the video, but it is related to AI. And sensing that frustration, I thought, well, you know, what can we do in order to, I don't know, rally against AI? And I think maybe Chris has been experiencing recently what I've been experiencing for a very long time, where people are sending me things where I'm thinking, well, no, that isn't what you think it is, and I'm having to point it out, in pretty much video after video, this is another thing. I don't want to get too distracted, but I had a message from Julian Cohen, who is the guy who's playing the piano on YouTube on the flash mob video. And yeah, he said thanks for the analysis with a winking face emoji. And he did say that he didn't notice that, that the piano was out of tune. So that's something I do point out in my analysis, that the piano is sharp. So then correcting the vocals to A440, when it should, if you are going to correct them at all, it should be A446, strictly speaking, if that's where we're now tuning, because the piano was sharp. That's roughly where the piano was. So if you are going to try and correct vocals, you want to match it to the accompaniment that is in the background to the voices. So yeah, he did send me a message, and yeah, it's fine. And I think with my videos, because they are just objective analysis videos, I'm just pointing out what's going on. And I think because all I'm ever doing is pointing it out, exactly what's happened, if I do get messages from the people who I might have featured in my video, they generally just say that they've seen the video, and that's it, because they know themselves exactly what they've done to their own video. So it's, when I point it out, it's not that I'm having a go at anyone or anything. It's just letting people know what we're watching. And yeah, it is interesting, because I think the majority of people are interested in knowing exactly what's going on with a particular video, and how it's been made, and how it sounds, and how that's been achieved. But there was one comment where somebody said, I'm never going to invite you to a gig because you'll tell me how it's done and ruin everything. So yeah, I guess there are some people that really don't want to know what is going on, which is absolutely fine. But I always think that it's good to be honest, and for people to have that knowledge. If everyone said about everything, I don't want to know how that is achieved, I just want to just listen to it or look at it or anything like that, yeah, it means that the human race would never evolve, because nobody would ever want to know about how anything works. So nobody would be able to take that technology any further, because nobody knows how it works. They just accept that it does work. It's like computers. When your computer crashes and you don't know what to do, you don't know how it works. So you need to go to somebody like an expert who can fix it, or tell you how it works and tell you how to fix it. So yeah, no matter which way you cut it, at some point somebody has got to be saying how things are happening in order for the human race to evolve. So yeah, but it's an interesting point of view. I'm one of these people that I do like to know as much as I can, get as much knowledge as I can, especially about music and things that I am interested in. So yeah, if there's a way to analyze something and break it down, especially as an independent artist myself, and learning to play the guitar, for example, learning to sing, you're looking at guitarists and singers, and you are analysing them to see what they're doing, to then try and improve your own playing and be influenced by them. And that's, every artist ever has analysed other artists, but the word that's used is influenced. Influenced means analysis, looking at what somebody's doing and appreciating what they're doing and using that yourself in your own way as an artist. So yeah, doing away with all analysis means that every artist wouldn't have been an artist, because you have to listen to stuff in order to get inspired. And if somebody who's never listened to music before in their life, if you went to a tribe somewhere and they've never listened to music at all, and then you said, okay, sing me a G, or play me a D chord on this guitar, they wouldn't know what you're talking about, because they haven't been exposed to that. You need the exposure to the music, you need the analysis in order to be inspired by it and influenced by it, to then do your own version of that, or you'll just use your own artistic expression given those tools that have been heard before. So yeah, I thought sometimes people do relate it to magic, and they say, oh, I don't want to know how the magic is achieved. But as I always reply to in comments, I say the reason it's called a magic trick, and the reason people don't want to know, is because the clue's in the title. It's a trick. Whereas with music, people aren't going to shows and going to see a live performance, for example. They're not paying money to be tricked. It's not a magic show. It can be a very entertaining live show. It should be live when I'm talking about live vocals as well, but sometimes it isn't. But you're paying your money not to be deceived, not for a trick. So yeah, I think to compare it to magic is a bit far-fetched, because it's absolutely not. Because I know I've received emails where people have emailed me who have been tricked, and they're not best pleased about it, especially when they've spent thousands of dollars. So there we have it, which you can also find on a mug in the Dashery store. On there it says, let's see how they get on, and then we have it on the back. Right, that's enough merchandise plugging for tonight. But I probably haven't done that in years because of the spring store, and the way that it just took ages for them to deliver anything, and then we're out of stock and all that kind of stuff. So there have been donations in the super chat window, so thank you guys for those. And there have been a few over on PayPal as well. But I don't want to lose my train of thought, because going back to the vocal coach thing, I did ask people, and I've still got to check that post on Patreon as to suggestions for vocal coaches that can be in this particular video. And I've either got 3 or 4 vocal coaches so far, and I only started asking yesterday, so that it's already quite good. But it'd be great to get lots of vocal coaches involved, and it just means that I'm going to be taking sections of their fully live vocal performances. And this is why it ties in with authentic vocal as well, because it's going to be an absolutely AI-free zone. And I have said to everyone as well that any post-signal effects are fine, reverb, compression, reverb, whatever they want to put on their voice after their voices hit the microphone. But anything that's a post signal, anything that's a pre-signal effect, such as tuning, pitch correction, auto tune, where the effect is changing the sound of what's gone into the microphone, so it's changing here rather than adding something, embellishing the sound. I've said, obviously, I think the people that I email and have emailed, they already know what I do anyway, so they've expected that, right, in the performance, there can't be any tuning going on. So, it's just going to be good to be able to hear natural voices. So that's something that I'll be doing. I mean, over probably the next few weeks, just getting, the vocal coaches' performances in and taking sections of it, putting it in a video. I'll put it over on Authentic Vocal as well. And just kind of get it out there, and maybe just try and push a video that is just totally natural. Because even on, Instagram and YouTube, even in shorts and reels, there are always performances there that look like they're genuine, but they've been tuned and they're not genuine. So it'd be great just to get something out there. And the good thing is that I can put the Authentic Vocal logo on there, so maybe people will say, oh, what does that logo mean? It means that what you're hearing is actually what was produced. I mean, it sounds crazy to say that, but nowadays you can't rely on that. You can't rely on what you're watching actually happened or sounded like that. And since that flash mob video that I did, I have had messages from the professional community who know what's going on, and they have said thanks for kind of making it public so that people realize that they're not hearing the sound as it was. They're hearing, I don't know how best to describe it, but a I was going to say a replication of, but it's not really, because I'm sure that there were probably live elements in there that have then been, professionally mixed. And I can't say as to whether they're, if I say something in my videos or say something on my live streams, they've got to be proven. I've got to be able to prove that that is the case. So what I will say is that, it wouldn't have sounded like that because it is taken from multiple performances. And as to what it is, it's very difficult. It's a representation of the kind of sound that was made. I guess that's the best way of putting it, because when you get into tuning voices and changing them from what they were, it now becomes an approximation, a representation of the sound that happened, but it's not actually the sound that happened. So because I can just point it out on the pitch monitoring software, I can say that the vocals wouldn't have sounded like that. But in terms of getting into the other instruments and whether those have been changed or not, that's something that I'll never be able to prove unless people had crowd shot footage there, and then we can start to compare things with the different crowd shot footage and then the original. But from what I've seen, there's no crowd shot footage anywhere of that or any one of those performances, because they were multiple performances. So all we can work with is that original video. Now, when I was looking through YouTube, and I was just interested to see, well, is there any crowd shot footage anywhere? There absolutely wasn't. But then what I realised is that particular video, what happens is people take that video and then upload it to their channel. And you'll have some, just first of all, just the video by itself. So they've taken the original video by Julian and put it on their channel. Somebody else has put it on their channel. Somebody else has put it on their channel. Somebody else has put it on their channel. And I'm going through the list of video after video after video after video of just people uploading it to their channels, even though they didn't create it. And then you get into the reaction videos where I didn't realise that everyone just jumps on the same video. So there's like a reaction video, the next one a reaction video, and every one of them has the shocked face and first time hearing this, can't believe it, and it looks like they've had the biggest shock of their life. And it's almost like every one you go through is going for that ridiculous face pulling thumbnail. So you go through that and it's just loads and loads and loads. And the videos have had maybe, some of them get 0 views, but some have had maybe 1,000 views or 2,000 views. So if it's for a channel that have got like 30 subscribers, then they're getting a lot of views for it. I don't know what they're doing with it. They're not explaining about the performance. They're just watching it, going, "Oh wow, that's amazing, brilliant, fantastic," and that's generally what it is. So that's what you're faced with when you do try and find any crowd shot footage. But I did have a good look, and there's nothing there. So when you've got nothing to cross-reference that is fully live and a true representation of the sound, then we can't really compare and contrast between the two. But all I can point out are the things that I did in my analysis, which do prove that the sound we're hearing wasn't what was happening at the time. But I think now, especially within the professional community, those kinds of videos are all kind of accepted as to what they are, that everyone knows that everyone knows what goes on, that it's not going to sound like that. But anyway, loads of requests to look at that particular video. But anyway, now moving on, let me just get through the super chat window donations. So thank you guys for these, and the messages from Paul, and a $5 donation. Thank you for that. The message is, catch up crew for me. Everyone have fun tonight and spike the likes. Oh, y'all. Peace, love, and rock. So thank you for that, Paul. Jennifer's donated $7. Thank you for that. The message is, Phil, knowing how corrupt the music business is, would you want your nephews to go into it? Also, would you be happy doing something else besides music? So thank you for that. I think I've been asked this before. I would be doing something to do with football, because that was my main other interest. Well, that's what I started out doing, and then I guess I started playing football when I was 11. I think I started quite late, and started playing guitar when I was 12. So I did the football thing more seriously to begin with, but then in my mid-teens, late teens, I started really, playing the guitar a lot more, and then realised that that's what I wanted to do, and then I gave up the football thing at age 20. But I had done quite a lot of coaching, football coaching by that point, as well as playing, and I think, if I'd continued with football, maybe if I'd changed my position where I played, then I think maybe I could have done that at a half decent level. So I mean, when I say half decent, maybe being able to do it in some kind of lower league, because I think probably when I was playing in my mid-teens and late teens, and then when I gave up when I was 20, I was playing kind of, I think, up front or maybe right midfield. I was playing quite far up the pitch. Whereas I started to realise that in training and even when I was playing at Maidenhead United, or kind of in the reserves for Maidenhead United, playing with the first team, you trained with the first teams, and that's a semi-professional club. So the first team are very good footballers. And I probably realised too late, that nobody could go around me. That there was no, to one point where the star of the club couldn't get around me, and I tackled him, and then I nutmegged him and went round him, and then he battered me into the side benches of the stadium just through frustration. So he had to be told to calm down. But I thought at that point, if somebody who is the shining star, and he's kind of in his early 20s, and I think every club has got one of these players where they think that he's going to do really well, I thought, well, if I can make that kind of person so frustrated that they turn to violence, then maybe I should change my position to being a defender and just not allowing them to get around me, or just tackle them. But I at that point, I think after that I wasn't really enjoying football, because that's a classic example that he's in the same club, he's on the same team, and he's been so annoyed that he's attempted to injure me, or I don't know. So that's what you get at that kind of level of football. So I thought, I could probably do without that, and I just enjoy music a lot more anyway. So but anyway, if I was going back to something, obviously I wouldn't be playing now because I'm too old, but probably coaching football, something that I would find interesting. In terms of my nephews going into music, I think if my nephews did want to get into music, then I would just give them the advice that I believe they should have, in which case they wouldn't be affected by the music industry, because you can do it all yourself. You can set up your website, you can record your own music, and I mean, I've got a fair amount of contacts if they needed any help with anything, but they're very much into football and not really into music, so that's what that they enjoy doing. And I think I'd probably steer them down the avenue of trying to avoid, especially signing record contracts, because you want to make sure that you own everything that you do make. And I mean, I kind of laughed to myself, because recently I've had so many messages, and again, look out for tomorrow night's video, so many messages from people who are using AI, and they're thinking that it's their song, that they're even just typing lyrics into AI and say, make a song with these words, and then they're given a song. They think that they've written that song, and it's a bit weird, I guess, because and some of these people are calling themselves independent musicians, but because I was going to say, it just seems weird from my point of view as an independent musician, but people are calling themselves that now using AI. And I just think it's weird to think along those lines, that you're saying that you've written a song, but before AI gives you that song, you've got no idea what it's going to sound like. You don't know the key, you don't know the melody, you don't know the tempo, you don't know anything about it other than the words you've put in. And it spits out a full song with chord progression, tempo, everything. And you think that you've written that's your song. So I mean, I've got no problem with people using AI, obviously disclosing it, being honest about it. And if they enjoy it, then yeah, that's up to them, and they can do that. But I think it's important to know what it is. That making an AI song doesn't make you a songwriter. It's you've just put a prompt into AI. It's like, if I put in a prompt for a picture and I put in, boxer in a ring under lights in the heavyweight championship belt competition in the final round, and you put in all of these prompts, then AI will give you that picture. And first of all, I won't know what the picture's going to look like until it gives it to me. And then it gives it to me and I see the picture and yeah, it looks great. And I think, oh, that looks really cool. So now I put on my profile that I'm a photographer. You think, yeah, we're missing the definition here, or really not understanding what's going on. I haven't taken that picture. I didn't capture that image, and I didn't know what it was going to be until I saw it. So yeah, in the same way that I can't call myself a photographer, I can't call myself a songwriter if I don't know what the song's going to be. So yeah, I mean, I try to explain this to people, but yeah, it is difficult because I don't know. I guess this all started with, what are they called? They're like loop libraries and all this kind of stuff, where people are creating songs by dragging in chord progressions. It all started with that, MIDI chord packs is what they're called. So if you don't know any chords and you don't know which chords can go together, you just drag in chords and just keep on trying them all until you hear one that you like. So I guess that's a bit of a slippery slope, because you think, well, yeah, if you don't know how it's going to go until you listen to it. And that's exactly the same as listening to somebody else's song and thinking, I like that. It's like, well, you haven't created that. You've heard something you like. So with the MIDI chord packs, they think, I like that, so I'm going to use it in my song. And it's like, well, is it really your song? Because you didn't create that. And then the problem is that you might get 3,000 songs that all have that same effect and same chord progression because 3,000 people have liked it. So now you've got 3,000 of the same song. So yeah, it's a very complicated world that we're entering at the moment. But look out for tomorrow night's video, because it's an interesting one. It's going to be interesting on many levels, because we've got the whole AI thing and what constitutes writing a song and what doesn't, and YouTube's policy on this, but also streaming sites and what happens when AI gets put on streaming sites. And I know that we did touch on that recently with that AI band, and what were they called? It's the Velvet Sundown or something. I don't know whether that's what they're called, but that whole thing that's going on Spotify. So we have another kind of example of that tomorrow night. So yeah, you can watch that video. Right, thank you for this, Thorum, as well. Thorum13, who has donated $3 and given a big thumbs up, so thank you for that. Elaine's donated $5 and says, here's a donation for you to buy a notepad and pen to write a list what you want to remember. So thank you for that. And generally, what will happen is I'll just be blabbering on about something, and then something will go off in my head that I think, I have to mention something else that is relevant to what I'm saying. So yeah, sometimes it's entirely random. Oh, Angela says Velvet Sundown is correct for the fictional band. Karen's donated $1.99. It says, Phil, your ideas may be revolutionary, Karen. So thank you for that. Denise has donated $5. And it looks like a karate cat. I think it's a cat. So thank you for that, Denise. And Jan has donated 20 Norwegian kroner and says DJ ... So thank you for that, Jan. Now, heading over to the PayPal window, there were a few donations in there. The first one came through from Nicole for £20. So thank you for that. And the message was, hello, Phil. I discover many stings with your analysis, or maybe things. Thank you. Stay safe. Rock. So thank you for that. I mean, it could be a sting if you're expecting one thing and then you don't realize it's something, and then you feel a bit stung. But thank you for that. And this is annoying. It keeps going back to the inbox. But the next one was from Philip. So thank you for this, Philip. And that's a £5 donation. And it was a straight up donation. And Karen donated £4 and 12 pence. So thank you for that. And the message is, hi Phil, just for fun, which would you choose? A room full of giant puppies or a room full of giant kittens, and why? Curious minds are inquiring. Thanks for all you do and for being you. Cheers, Karen. I mean, I don't believe that anybody's curious about that particular question, but I would go for puppies because I prefer dogs to cats. So, right. Next, Leslie's donated £25, so thank you for that. And the message is, good evening, Phil. With your ridiculous schedule, have you thought about getting a meal subscription? There are some good ones designed with your diet goals in mind, hot or frozen. I think that will help you a lot. Leslie. So thank you for that. And I mean, not really. I haven't thought of anything. Like, we have this thing called Hello Fresh here, where they, drop off all of the things that you're going to need in order to cook particular meals. But the problem that I have really is just getting everything organized, because they say, ready in only 30 minutes or something like that, and I think, well, I don't have 30 minutes. So, and then there's making it all and cleaning up pots and pans and everything afterwards. So yeah, generally, I mean, I do now and again have meals that in an emergency I use, in the microwave, that can be done in kind of 4 or 5 minutes. But then other than that, it's, just things like eggs and bacon, scrambled egg on toast, stuff that, it doesn't take too long, maybe 5 or 10 minutes. So, yeah, I haven't thought about the meal subscription thing. And generally, I mean, I know what I'm eating anyway, and I know nutritionally what I need and what I kind of should be eating, but I've always got to balance that with my time and what I'm doing schedule-wise. So thank you for that, Leslie. And Karen donated £2 and 11 pence again. So thank you for that in the messages. Phil, I think you just nailed the definition of an AI song. Spit it out without creativity. Cheers, Karen. Or spat out without creativity. So, yeah, thank you for that. Yeah, I mean, it is very difficult because I think people, when they write something into, like a video that we had recently where the person said, these are my words. And, technically that is correct, that they are typing. So anybody can say that about anything that's AI generated, be it imagery or audio. You say, oh yeah, but those are my words. Say for example, when AI in the future really takes off, and you can maybe do longer videos, you can put in a prompt that says something like, movie about a secret agent who's behind enemy lines and he gets caught by the enemy, and you can just write in an idea for a story, and then it spits out a full movie of 2 hours with all of the different characters, all of the lines, the script that's being used for that, all of the effects, CGI and stuff, because it's AI, it doesn't need any of that. So it spits out that 2-hour project, and then you say, oh, this is my movie that I have made. The creativity part, that's the killer. So you say, it was your words, but anyone can write in words. It doesn't make it unique. It doesn't make it, because if it were unique, you would know what's about to be produced. So you'd know, right, we've got an intro. What happens in the intro? And the person with the AI prompt will say, I don't know. So, okay, well, what happens in the first scene? And they'll say, oh, I don't know. And so, okay, well, half an hour into the movie, which characters are still alive? Has there been anyone that's been, removed? Has anyone been killed? They say, well, I don't know. I've got to wait for AI to give me the movie first, and I've got to watch it to know what's going to go on in it. But that's exactly what it is. I don't know how to explain it to people other than that kind of thing. That if you don't know what it is going to be until you hear it or see it, then it wasn't created by you, because you know those things when you create something. So anyway, I can see that there have been a couple of donations in the super chat window, so thank you for that again. Malteser has donated $4.99 and says, some are ready to eat, no cooking. So thank you for that. Yeah, I maybe have to have a search around, because the only thing that I've seen are the things that you've got to cook yourself. And then Malteser donated again, $4.99, says, people that subscribe have only positive things to say. So thank you for that. And I don't know, the only company that I know in the UK is this HelloFresh thing, which is they give you all of the things you need in order to cook a particular meal. But yeah, I don't have time for the cooking. So I don't know what the company name is. Maybe you can put in a company name. Maybe it's something that is in the UK or might not be in the UK. I don't know where this particular service is hosted. But anyway, thank you for those donations. Now, where are we at? Almost 10 to midnight here. We're also at 313 likes. So if you could hit that thumbs up, that would be very much appreciated. We're aiming for 405, and it means that we're going to be having Phil Jan number 266. So we're kind of getting there. It means we're looking for 92 more people, I think. Quick bit of maths there. So right. All right. Colin Collins said, Phil, what do you think about the Beatles using AI to create Now and Then? So I did a video on this on Now and Then, and there are different applications of AI. So, I mean, and this goes for every corner of creativity, but also research. So AI, the thing about AI is that it can just keep on doing calculations over and over and over and over and over and over and over. So it's the kind of thing that for research, you think, well, that's going to be useful, that it can potentially find particular equations that would solve a particular problem once it's given all of the information, and it knows, for example, the periodic table, and it knows what it all does. It can put all of these different things in, millions of variations to see what that would produce. So if you're looking for a cure for a particular disease, it can start going through all of these different equations and possibilities, eliminating effectively all the ones that don't work until, maybe millions or billions or trillions of calculations later, it then finds the one that does, cancel out the other side of the equation, so that all of these elements here, if you do it in this particular way, will cancel out this result or this cause, and the result you can cancel it out. So you think, well, AI would be good for that because it can do more calculations, and as long as you leave it plugged in, it's going to get better at doing it all the time. But yeah, when we get into creativity, I'd say the Now and Then example isn't the same as creating a song with AI, because it's using the same technology, exactly the same technology that I use in my analysis videos to isolate vocals. So AI is now being used not to create anything new, is being used to take out something from a recording. And that's what it's trained to do. And the more it's trained, the better it gets at just being able to isolate that one voice, or that one guitar, for example. So that isn't changing anything. It's isolating what was already there. But now, so with Now and Then, it was a case of that they used the isolation software to be able to isolate the vocals that might not have been the cleanest signal to begin with, but they can get rid of background noise that might have been hiding some of the vocal, and now they've got a better version of that vocal. So, but it doesn't mean that vocal didn't exist. It's always existed. If you then take that vocal and then pitch correct it or do anything auto-tune, then you are changing what it was. So yeah, that's the other application of it. But yeah, used in that way, and yeah, I think it has been used in that way for different projects in order to try and, you know, get a clearer signal. That's all it's doing. It's not changing anything, and it's not creating something that didn't exist in the first place. Because if it was creating something new that didn't exist, when you then take that isolated vocal out, and for example, like I do, you do a pitch analysis of it, if it's now a different sound, something that's been created, it won't match the original. But we know with isolation software that it is the same. It's exactly the same. The lines will go exactly over the top of that previous vocal because it is the same. It hasn't been something newly created. The new thing about it is being able to take just the vocal and take it out of that overall sound. So yeah, it's a different application of it, and I haven't got a problem with that because it's exactly the same principle really as pitch correction and auto-tune, is that you've got a signal and you then either leave that signal as it is and apply reverb and delay, whatever you want to do, to the signal, or you create a new signal, which is, yeah, pitch correction, auto-tune. You're creating a signal that didn't happen. And that's the same with AI, that if you're creating a new song or creating a voice that wasn't there, you're changing it before anyone gets to hear it. Whereas if you're using AI to take something out of a song that was the original vocal that happened and only had reverb to it, and you're not changing it, then yeah, it is a different application. So I don't have a problem with that at all. So thank you, Malteser again, donated $4.99, says, Phil, your hair is behaving nicely again today. So thank you for that. And Karen says $1.99, Phil, hair update please. Yes, we're curious, Karen. So thank you for that. And yeah, as for my head, it's always a bit random. Oh, look at this side. This side is all curling up, don't know why, and this side is flat. So and I think there's like a curl going on here that's this kind of goes down and is now curling kind of forwards. I don't know what's going on with that. So yeah, it's totally random as always. It is what it is. So Angela says the new Alexa app is AI. Is that you? In that you can now have a full-blown conversation with it. It's wild and scary at the same time. So thank you for that. And yeah, I mean the problem is that everyone's seeing AI as a thing, as its own, you know, being or something like that. But it's just a program. It's just, you know, if you have a conversation with it, it's working out the response given all of the information it's been fed. So it's really what's happening is you're interacting with an app that somebody has made, and it's fed the app lots of information so that it knows the answer, or it can deduce from all of this information, it can deduce what a correct kind of answer would be. But yeah, AI doesn't have its own brain, and at least at the moment, I know that the way that it's being programmed, they're trying to get more and more towards it having its own consciousness, which yeah, I think is dangerous. And I think the problem is, I mean, it is Terminator or Terminator 2. I was going to say all over again, but that didn't happen in the first place. But it's this push to generate AI and make it evolve as much as possible, and not thinking at some point, well, if it gets too far, let's just unplug it. Because I think humans are so stupid that they would keep it plugged in, even if it's going to take over the world. Because that's what I thought about Terminator. Just unplug it. If you unplug it, then it can't do anything. But yeah, this is the problem, that the more that it gets into, I guess, in the infrastructure of different countries and government and everything, it's like, well, we would have to turn everything off. I mean, all electricity. So we'd be back to the dark ages of having to make fires and all that kind of stuff. But you'd like to think that you could just disconnect the computers and the servers that are responsible for AI. But then again, because humans are idiots, it means that one country would do that, but then another country would still try and harness AI to have the strategic advantage in war or taking over the world. Because some people still have that belief from millions of years ago that there's any point to that. So we'll see what happens in the future. But at the moment, AI is just a program. So everyone who's kind of talking to it, it's important to understand exactly what it is. It's no different to just talking into your phone and maybe getting a Google search or typing into Google and then getting a response. That's all it is. It's just a canned response that is informed due to the information that has been fed. So anyway, right, we are going to be jumping into tonight's cover video. It looks like it is going to be I Just Died in Your Arms Tonight. We'll end the poll just to make sure. And okay, we're at 338 likes, which means again we're going to have to get a move on to get to 405. So if you haven't hit that thumbs up yet, it'd be much appreciated if you could do. It seems like Field Jam number 266 might be a difficult one to achieve. So let's I've just missed the result. Oh, there it is. 63% is I Just Died in Your Arms. So I hope you guys enjoy this. It's my version of the Cutting Crew classic, of course. And I will see you guys after. Rock!
I just died in your arms tonight. Must have been something you said. I just died in your arms tonight. I keep looking for something I can't get, but broken hearts lie all around me, and I don't see an easy way to get out of this. The diary sits by the bedside table, the curtains are closed, the cat's in a cradle. Who'd have thought that a boy like me could come to this? Whoa, I just died in your arms tonight. Must have been something you said. I just died in your arms tonight. Whoa, I just died in your arms
there we have it. That was my version of I Just Died in Your Arms. Hope you guys enjoyed that one. Thank you for requesting that over on Patreon. Now, we do have a picture corner that we are going to be jumping into. And there have been a couple of donations in the super chat window. So thank you for this. Sue's donated $9.99 and says, we've got this. Dear fellow wingers, keep spiking. So, 372 likes so far, which means we're looking for, 33 more people. And how long is the Phil Jam? If we do get there, it's 5 minutes and 36 seconds. So it means we have like 7 minutes, maybe, to get there. So we will see. And Tondelaya has donated $10, so thank you for that. And the message is, sounds great, Phil. And Kyria Layson has donated $2 and says, great cover, Phil. So thank you for that. Okay, we are going to be jumping into Picture Corner. And, oh yeah, maybe the Troll Corner as well. But depending on how we do with the likes. If we get another 26... Oh, we just had a bit of a spike there. If we have another, 23? Yeah, not sure. But if we get a few more likes, then we will be able to have a jam. Maybe instead of Troll Corner. It depends how much time we've got. But let's get into Picture Corner and see what is going on in there tonight. So, right, now, let's see where this actually... Okay, it's in the middle, which is good. This has been sent in from Karen, and Karen says, I'm rocking the Wings of Pegasus tank top in the garden on a late summer day. So thank you for that. And, oh, we have a couple here. This is Amy that says, got my Wings of Pegasus hat from Dashery and wore my whole outfit to a nearby guitar shop. It's the dad hat style, Phil. Here's a close-up so you can see the size of the words London, England. Oh, hang on, I haven't got to the close-up part yet. So, there's the close-up part. So, oh yeah. We can just make that out. Yeah, Wings of Pegasus, and it's very small on my screen, but hopefully on the cap, the London, England can be read, that it is big enough. But anyway, we have another one, and here's Bob. And look at the colour of this shirt. Bob says, channeling my inner hippie. Saw this colour choice and couldn't resist. So wow, I mean, I haven't even seen that colour choice over on Dashery, but it must be an option. So thank you for that, Bob. We might have another one from Bob, and here it is. Oh, he's also got a red hoodie going on as well. So thank you for this, and the message for this one was, I'll be ready for Christmas season this year. And oh, note the Wings of Pegasus logo on front of the hoodie. So yeah, because I think on the zipped ones you get the logo just on the back, but on these ones, when it doesn't have the zip, just this normal one. Oh, why are we quite zoomed in? Oh, for whatever reason we're quite zoomed in. We can't really see the Wings of Pegasus on but you'll have to trust me that it is there. But thank you, Bob, for that. The logo is on the front. And by the way, on the messages that Laura has sent to me, and thank you, Laura, for linking me to these, there's a message from Vince that says, let's do a Zoom chat after Saturday's live stream on September 20th. The link to Zoom will be in the comments of this post on the supporters page in Facebook. So thank you for that. So if you guys are interested in a Zoom call, Vince is going to do that over on the Wings of Pegasus supporters page on Facebook, and he'll be doing that on the 20th of September. So right, that is that, and 19 more people. Right, so in order to have a jam, right, let me get rid of that. Get rid of that. So now we're back to normal. And troll corner. We'll just jump in there and see if I can remember what it's all about. But I'll see you guys in a second. Rock. Okay, so the troll corner. Hang on, I might have this on my phone because I did take a screenshot of this because I thought it was quite funny. Yeah, yes, this is the one. This person said, and this is where I'm looking at the recent release of the John Lennon performance 1972, and we're looking at the original and comparing that with the recent release, which has been pitch corrected. And it's clearly pitch corrected. If you were to do the analysis yourselves, you would see, and I show it on screen, that not only has some of the melody and the vocals been moved sharp, but then they've also been moved flat in other areas. So in order for that to happen, like you could say that if the whole vocal has been moved or is just running a bit faster, for example, and it's sharp, the whole vocal would be sharp. It wouldn't be sharp and then flat and then sharp and then flat when you compare it to the original recording. So anyway, this person said, which is why that word was replaced by the one in the second chorus. Big deal. Here we go. I analysed the entire 3.5 minutes of vocals before and after, and there is zero pitch correction. Phil plays less than 20 seconds worth and relies on squigglies of the two stems, not dry isolated tracks, which have different EQing, different delay and reverb, and convinces the gullible that the latter cleaned up vocal is pitch corrected. It's smoke and mirrors BS, is what he says. So here you've got somebody who they've said that they've done their own analysis, and that boggles my mind as to how you can not see with your eyes that the vocal has been moved from where it was previously, in some places sharp, in some places flat. And here he says, Phil plays less than 20 seconds worth. In my analysis videos, I have listened to the whole thing. If I were going through it, second by or millisecond by millisecond, my videos, they already go on for 20, 25 minutes. My videos would go on for hours and hours and hours and hours. And ultimately, all you need is, sometimes you only need 20 seconds to see that it is conclusively moved. And to say that, and I did say to him about EQ and reverb, and delay, I did say to him that, go to a piano, play an A4, and then put reverb on it and see if it registers as an A sharp 4. Because you're going to be sitting there a very long time. If you think that reverb can change the pitch of a note, it doesn't change pitch. It happens after the signal. It will still be an A4 that has been hit, and it just doesn't make sense on any level. Now, the only problem is that, what he's saying is just so fundamentally flawed on every single level, saying that, a reverb will change the pitch of a vocal. If that were the case, singers would never use reverb, because I say, well, I can't use that reverb. And they say, well, why not? Because when I'm really accurate with my singing, the reverb moves my notes all over the place. So, it's such a contradiction to say that is possible. And then saying that relying on squigglies, he doesn't understand we're looking at pitch in hundredths of a second, which is one of the most reliable things that you can do if you are analysing somebody's voice from one performance to the next, especially if it's the same vocal. And saying that the squigglies of two stems, not dry isolated tracks. Again, you don't need dry isolated tracks. That's the beauty of it, that anyone can do this. Anyone can isolate those vocals and get the same results. And dry isolated tracks are going to give you exactly the same results. You'll see when it's repeating and when it's not, when it is different. So The problem here is that this person who thinks they're informed, they know maybe they've got a 10% idea of what's going on and 90% they don't understand. So according to their 10% knowledge, they think they're right, and their analysis obviously it's got to be hugely flawed to say that it's the same vocal, because that is crazy. Because you can even, I also said, you can hear where his vocal is now not sharp. You can hear that it's now been brought down. You don't have to look at it on a graph. So the fact that he can't even hear that, the problem is, as happens with some of these people, they then go through the comment section doing the same comment to everyone who might say about, being disappointed about it being pitch corrected. He'll go through saying, I've done my own analysis. This isn't true, because he's not looking at the stems. He's not looking at the isolated vocals. He's only looking at isolated stems, and he hasn't got the dry tracks, and there's reverb, which is going to be unreliable. And he'll say the same thing to lots of other people. So this is the problem, that you occasionally you get this, and even some people have said that they are producers and they clearly don't know what we are looking at on screen, that it is absolutely undeniable. And this is why producers like Warren Hewitt, who is an amazing producer, and the fact that he watches my channel and supports what I do over on Authentic Vocal as well, somebody like him who knows everything about everything ever to do with production, if it was wrong what I was pointing out, he wouldn't endorse it in any possible way. So and I mean, ultimately the proof is always in that my videos remain, that they are still up. They haven't been taken down. They haven't been removed by lawyers and all this kind of stuff, because what I'm doing is factual. It's based on objective data. And like I said, when you're analysing pitch to the 100th of a second, it's one of the most reliable things that you can do ever when you're comparing different performances. Because the lines never lie. And the great thing about the lines is that it's something visual. It's not an opinion. Everyone can see that line is absolutely going over the other line, and everyone can see that line is falling on a different note to the other line, where all of the notes seem to be now more calibrated to A440, and you can clearly see the difference between the two. So anyway, now 5 more people. And right, we need 5 more people to hit the thumbs up. If you could hit the thumbs up, that would be great, because somebody's just done a double click, but we were at 400. You have to trust me. We're trying to get to 405, and then we'll bust out the guitar and have a jam to finish 401. I'm going to grab the guitar. And I know that technically we're already 1 minute over the end of the live stream, but it's going to be, 5 minutes worth of fill jam. That is on. Right, okay, 405, we did it. We are going to have a fill jam, finally, and... Right, I'm going to try and do this in record time. Click on that. Click on that. All right, oh, it started straight away. Right. Let's let me know what it sounds like. Oh, this is... Oh, hang on. This is Acid Jazz, jam track in D minor, Purple Velvet, in inverted commas, B-BJT, hashtag 130. And this is from Ben's Jam Tracks on YouTube, of course. we've got a funny change here. There. Yeah. Oh. There we go. Oh, I wasn't expecting that ending so quick. So, there we have it. That was Acid Jazz, jam track in D minor, Purple Velvet in inverted commas, BJT hashtag 130 from Ben's Jam Tracks. Now, that was a bit of a funny one because I'm going to listen to that again because we've got chord changes happening all over the place. Oh, can I get back to the beginning? Oh. Change. 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 change, 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 change. Yeah, so when you're playing along to something like this, I mean, this is acid jazz, so it means that generally what you'll have is an idea of all of the changes, and then I mean, it is very, if you struggle to sing over something, sing over a backing, it's going to be really difficult to play anything, especially if you're kind of singing through the instrument. So on that one it's interesting, because once you hear the changes, you know that you do stuff that you'd never normally do. Like if you're playing in D, you go and suddenly go to notes that you think, well, yeah, that's a change you're never going to get in melodic hard rock. So, but anyway, I mean, it's all good fun. That was what it was. And it's funny to hear the change and then just suddenly jump to somewhere that you don't normally. Oh yeah, Mr. Troll was enjoying that as well. Look, he's loving it. Look at his face. He's still here from earlier. So we will end the live stream with Mr. Troll. Very happy with that Phil Jam, as long as somebody is, that's fine. And that was Acid Jazz Jan, track in D minor, Purple Velvet BJT, hashtag 130, and that is from Ben's Jam Tracks on YouTube. So thank you guys. Thank you, Joe, for sending that my way. And just trying to see if I think we had a donation or two. Sue donated $4.99 and said, worth every nail-biting moment we had to wait to reach the likes goal. So thank you for that. And Diamond Girl donated $2 as well and says, thank you, Phil. So, yes. Right, we are going to be calling things to a close. So thank you guys for tuning in tonight. Look out for that video tomorrow night, because, that is going to be an interesting one. And, all that's left for me to say is try to stay as safe and as sane as possible in this crazy world in which we live. Have a fantastic rest of your week, and I will catch you guys at the next one. Rock!